Starting with the Simon Commission in this video. All these videos are from Ghatna Chakra, Pointers Edition. Now, Simon Commission visited India in the year 1928. The people of India agitated against the arrival of Simon Commission because there was no Indian member in the Simon Commission. Now, Simon Commission was appointed in 1927. Simon Commission in 1928 came to India with with the purpose to consider administrative reforms. The chronological order of the events during the Indian independence movement is Constitution of Simon Commission in 1927, Nehru Report in 1928, Sharda Act in 1929, and then Dandi March in 1930. On whose suggestion Indians were kept out of Simon Commission? Answer is Lord Irwin. The Congress boycotted the Simon Commission. Reason is the Simon Commission did not have a single Indian member. Both A assertion and reasoning are correct, and the reason is the correct explanation of the assertion. The true statement about Simon Commission are it was appointed to inquire into the working of 1919 Act. It was headed by Sir John Simon. It recommended a federal form of government. It was opposed by Indian leaders. It recommended the replacement of diarchy with responsible government in the provinces. Lala Lajpat Rai was injured in Lathi charge in protest to Simon Commission. The title of Punjab Kesari was conferred to Lala Lajpat Rai. Now, assertion and reasoning. Protest led by Lala Lajpat Rai was organized in Lahore in 1928 against Simon Commission. Simon Commission did not have a single Indian member in it. Both assertion and reasoning are individually true, and reasoning is the correct explanation of the assertion. Now, Nehru report was prepared by Motilal Nehru. With reference to the period of Indian freedom struggle, the recommendation of Nehru period were joint electorates with reservation of seats for minorities, provision of fundamental rights for people of India in the constitution. There were many other provisions as such, but these two are the most prominent ones. The Nehru report was drafted by a committee headed by Motilal Nehru, and the subject was constitutional arrangements in India. Muhammad Ali Jinnah put forth his 14-point proposal in the year 1929. The president of All Parties Conference held in February 1928 was Dr. M.A. Ansari. Now, moving on to the Lahore session of Congress, Proposal of Complete Independence 1929. During the Indian freedom struggle, the one who proposed that Swaraj should be defined as complete independence, free from all foreign control, was Maulana Hazrat Mohani. The leader who proposed to adopt complete independence as goal of Congress in Ahmedabad session of 1921 was Maulana Hazrat Mohani. The purpose of Purna Swaraj was passed in Lahore session of Congress in the year 1929. Now, Congress passed the proposal of independence of India for the first time in 1929. This day was declared as Purna Swaraj Day by the Indian National Congress. The day was 26th of January 1930. The one who declared the aim of Congress as Purna Swaraj in Lahore session of Congress 1929 was Jawaharlal Nehru. The one who was the president of Indian National Congress when resolution of Purna Swaraj was passed was Jawaharlal Nehru. The one who hoisted the Indian flag at the midnight of December 31st, 1929 was again Jawaharlal Nehru. The session of Indian National Congress that was presided over by Jawaharlal Nehru for the first time was Lahore session of 1929. The Lahore session of the Indian National Congress 1929 is very important in the history because Congress passed a resolution demanding complete independence. The 1929 session of Indian National Congress is of significance in the history of freedom movement because of the attainment of Purna Swaraj was adopted as the goal of Congress. Declaration of Indian foreign policy, preparation of launching of the civil disobedience movement. The Purna Swaraj resolution adopted at the Lahore session of the Indian National Congress was moved by Jawaharlal Nehru. Now, moving on to the civil disobedience movement, Dandi March was undertaken in 1930. Gandhiji started Dandi March from Sabarmati Ashram. The province that had the highest number of satyagrahis in Mahatma Gandhi's Dandi March was from Gujarat. In 1930, Mahatma Gandhi started the civil disobedience movement from Dandi. Dandi March lasted for 24 days. With reference to civil disobedience movement, the true statement are Madan Mohan Malviya, Devadas Gandhi, and K.M. Munshi were punished for violating the salt law. Now, these are events and the dates. Dandi March, it started on March 12, 1930. Quit India movement started on August 9, 1942. Arrival of Simon Commission was on February 3rd, 1928. And Gandhi-Irwin Pact was signed on March 5th, 1931. The date 6th of April 1930 is known in the Indian history for Dandi March of Mahatma Gandhi. Now, there is an assertion and a reasoning. The salt agitation was launched by Mahatma Gandhi in 1930. The reasoning is false, and the reasoning goes like Mahatma Gandhi's object was to make salt available free to the poor. So, the reasoning is false, but the assertion is true. The statement I want world sympathy in the battle of right against might is associated with Gandhiji's Dandi March. The correct statement about Mahatma Gandhi's Dandi March are it was an altogether a pedestrian march. It started from Sabarmati Ashram and ended at Dandi. The entire march from Sabarmati was covered in 24 days. After the arrest of Gandhiji during Salt Satyagraha, the person who took his place as the leader of the movement was Abbas Tayyab ji. Acharya Vinoba Bhave was arrested for the first time in taking part for civil disobedience movement. Gandhiji stayed with a foreign journalist in his Sabarmati ashram during Dandi March. He was web miller. During the Indian freedom struggle, Khudai Khidmatgars, also known as Red Shirts, called for the Pathan regional nationalist unity and a struggle against colonialism. Red Shirt organization was founded to throw out the Britishers. The leader of Lal Kurti movement was Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan. The soldiers of Garhwal regiment refused to fire on the revolutionaries in civil disobedience movement. At the time of national movement, the person who started Raj Dash Roja periodical was Abdul Ghaffar Khan. Jitrang movement started in Manipur. Jiatrang. Jiatrang. Anyway, moving on. Agitation against Chowkidari tax in Begusarai was a part of civil disobedience movement. Salt Satyagraha in Bhagalpur was led by Mahadev Lal Sharaf. After the failure of civil disobedience movement, Gandhiji gave importance to constructive programs. Dr. Radhabhai was arrested while leading processions in the second civil disobedience movement on 13th of June 1932. Prabhavati Devi was a freedom fighter of Patna. Now moving on to the Gandhi-Irwin Pact. I think that will be it for this video. We'll be starting with the Gandhi-Irwin Pact in the next video.